Hello and welcome once more to another lesson here in the Learn Sanskrit series. This time we are going to talk about the indeclinable or the conjunction cha, which is and in English, and we're going to talk about it with the focus here not so much on the syntax of how to put it into a sentence, but more about how the noun subjects will appear when we are combining them with the verbs. Because and is some call it the copulative like particle, and that means that we are when we have different nouns, we're adding them together like that in a particular way. So we are going to talk about that, and before we start, I would like to just talk about what this video is not about, because we have for the word cha here on the screen here. We have four different situations. Two situations is when we are using the conjunction here as a word connector, and syntax A is when we only have one cha, and syntax B is when we have one cha per word that we're adding together. So Rama and Krishna and Dasharatha, or something like that. Alright, so that's the word. And then we have the clause connector. If we are adding together, let's say, she goes and he sleeps, or whatever, and then syntax D is for a sentence connector, and we have talked about these things before, at least A, B, and C, so that's nothing new. But what I wanted to point out here then, that this video about noun subjects and about the verbs, that they sort of you have to harmonize the nouns and the verbs, and so this video is only about when cha is used as a word connector. So we can say that we can do something like this, that these are the only ones that are interesting, this situation here. What we also are not going to talk about here in this video is about whether to use A or B syntax in any given situation. That's a different topic. This topic we're going to do right here and now is about harmonizing the nouns and the verbs in terms of number and person. Okay, so that's the first screen there. Alright, so now we are going to talk about the core question. What is that? Question: which form of the verb will we use for a particular set of explicit subjects. That is the core question that we'll try to answer. So the question is then, which number that is it singular, is it dual, is it plural, and which person? First, second, third. Like that. So this is the sort of question that we are going to look at. Now, in terms of one important rule here, then main rule number one is that add the number for each subject. And these will be nouns. So the nouns, and that is a sort of a general term here. They could be, for instance, proper nouns like names, Rama, Krishna. They could be common nouns like a vadathah that we had in this, or gajah, so the elephant or the boy, or they could be pronouns, sah or sa, so etc. So this is like a general term here. So the subjects are nouns, and the nouns might be of different types then, so proper nouns and pronouns, etc., like that. Okay, so add the number for each subject noun. So let's see how that works then. We can take an example here. Saha, sa, cha, agacha, something. So obviously we have a cha here, which means that we're saying he and she, and so they are going. But who are they? How should we count this? Okay, so he is singular and she is singular, so therefore singular plus singular is dual. Okay, so then we have to put two here, two, and then we have to, of course, it's they two, so it ends up in dual here. They two go. Agacha taha. We haven't covered dual yet. We'll do that in the next lesson, but this is just an example of This is nothing that will come on the dual form, will not appear in the exercises for lesson 7 anyway. So, but this is just an example here, illustrating the whole idea. Okay, so that's one idea then. So we can say here that we have 1 plus 1 here then, is a situation here. And then we can have a thing like Krishna Ramaha Dasharatha cha gach something. So they are going, right? But so we have Krishna is one, Rama is another, and then Dasharatha is a third. So we have 3 that we are adding together. So that must be plural. So we must have plural endings. Gachanti. So that's 1 plus 1 plus 1 is plural. And then a third example could be like this. We have Gajaha, the elephants, and Gajaha Ashvaha cha tisht something here. What? Well, the elephants and the horse the horses, the elephants and the horses, they are both in plural. So it's actually well, we can write 3 at least plus another 3 at least. That's so it's plural in any case. I mean, we're already so the result here in the verb has to be plural. So they all stand. Okay. So that's the main rule then. Here then, what we've covered here on this page is when we have like a same number and same person. So we have 3 plus 3, or 1 plus 1 plus 1, or 1 plus 1. Now let's look at the next possibility here. I'll take 2 examples here. So we can write this. I'll write this later on. Okay, so Ashvaha cha balaho, balo, cha, tishta, taha. No, that's wrong. So it can't be tishtataha. Tishtanti must be. Why? So we have the horse, one horse, but we have two. This is the dual form. We haven't covered this, but this is the dual, the two horses, or the two boys, sorry. The two boys. And 1 plus 2 is 3, so it must be plural, so it must be tishtanti. So then we have 1 plus 2 here. So they all stand. And then we have another one here. We can take an example like the vadathah. Ashvaha. Cha. Agat. Shanti. So we have the many boys, the boys, and the one horse, the horse, and so then, but we're already up in plural here. The boys are already plural, so then the whatever addition we're making here, if we're saying 3 plus 1 here, for instance, then so it's plural in any case here, so they all come. Right? So there's nothing terribly difficult here with that, but this was also then different numbers here. But it's the same person, and in this case we're talking about third person. But we can also do like an example like this. We have yuyam. So you all. Cha. Tvam. Cha. You singular, right? And then we can write kadanti, because we are already up in plural here. Yuyam is plural, so no, not kadanti. We have to write. Sorry, we are second person. I'm out. Vadatah. Sorry about that. That was vadatah. you, so then you all, it still becomes you all then. But this is not really a good example, because Yuyam might already be included in you there, so you all eat. But in terms of adding subjects, then we can still maybe in the real situation, these are one group of boys here, and then maybe tvam is an old man or something, or the opposite. So we are addressing two different groups of people. Anyway, so but in terms of arithmetic, this should be correct. So here then we have different numbers, same person, but in this case it's second person. Anyway, so but this is just a demonstration here of how to calculate the verb ending here. Alright, so now let's go on to the main rule number 2 here. Main rule number 2. And I do this in 3 steps here. The first rule here is second person overrides third person, or trumps, or overtakes, or something like that. Wins over. And then first person, I'll soon give you examples of this. And then as a consequence of A and B, we can say that first person overrides also third person. So these are the this calculation then has to be done in addition to the numbering rule. Okay, so we'll give you some examples here. So then we can say something like, let's say saha cha tvam cha. So saha here, okay, so let's write it up here. He and you, singular, so let's say gotcha something, right? So someone is going here. So it's he and you are going. So we have in terms of singular, and so we have two singular, which makes a dual. So now we have to have dual, but which person? Is it he, or is a third person from he, or is a second person from you? Well, according to rule A here, second person overrides third person, and therefore we should have dual second person. So dual second person would be something like this: vadatah. So then the equivalent of this then in this particular situation is it becomes equivalent of tvam, which we haven't covered yet anyway, but you can go back to this video later on after we do the dual pronouns. We'll see. I think I do. Yeah, we do them in next lesson 8. So you can do a refresher then, come back to this. So in this case, when we are doing this addition here, this is equivalent. So tvam and vadatah are matching, and that's so the whole sense of this seems to work. All right. Another example could be here that we have saha. Oh, let me take. So this is situation A then. No, so well, second, yeah, right. Second person overrides third person. Okay, good. And then we should have number B here, and then we shouldn't use any third person pronoun, but we should do something like this. Let's say tvam aham cha, and we are coming here agach something, but what will it be? Okay, so we have tvam and aham, so we're singular plus singular is dual, so we know dual, but which person? Is it third person or is it first person? Well, according to rule 2, first person overrides second person. So aham will force the situation, it will take over. So first person dual then. First person dual agachavaha. And this is also clearer here perhaps. Okay, you, I, and so dual, we two go. Oh, we two come, sorry. Agachava. We two come. And I'll write this up here also in the previous example here. They two. Oh, sorry, you two. Sorry, this would be you two. That's the whole point of that you takes over in vadatah there. So you two take over. So it's, and this is the virtue here of having that we are spelling out the implicit subject in our verbs. In a sentence like this, makes it much more clearer to understand if we are students. He and you, you two go. Okay, so you and I, we two come, and then we have the last situation here with the C. We can take saha, aham, cha. Kad something. So something is eating. Someone is eating here. And it's he and it's I. And eating, we eat. Okay, but saha and aham. Okay, we're two, right? Okay, so it's we two eat. And is it we two or you two or what? It's I is the first person, so it must be we two. So we is first person. We two eat. Kad davah. So the result in terms of person and number is the same as in B here, because aham is taking over. And we only had one. We only had one. I mean, it's singular. Both subjects here are singular. Tvam aham or saha aham. So, but we can also have, of course, different. We can have two of you there, you two, for instance, and a hum, like that. So but the situation here is that you have same number, and but different person. Like that. And then we can do the last one here, where we are doing some combinations here. For instance, we can take saha, we can take saha yuyam, for instance. What would that be? Cha, let's say gachati, something. What would that be? So we have one he and you all. You all is already plural, so it cannot be anything else than plural. So we are going, and it must be plural, all. Question is, but is it they all or you all? It's you all, because we are the yum trumps, second person trumps the third person saha here. So it must be you all go, and gacha ta. like that. And that is a demonstration of principle rule A again here. So these are then examples of different number and different person. Okay, so we take one more here perhaps. We can take let's just do this. Sa avam cha ka d something. Okay, let's see. We have she, we have we too. This is dual, which we'll cover this in lesson 8. We have and cha, and we have something eat. Something eat. So we have you two, we two, and we have she. So 2 plus 1 is 3, so we must have plural all over here. And then we have to have but then we have first person here. We have third person she, and we have first person we, and the first person trumps third person, as in our rule C. So that makes this and it's plural first. Okay, so we all eat. So kadavaha. We all eat. Okay, good. And we should make some example of B as well, I guess. Let's do B. What do we do? Let's see. We can do yuam aham cha gach. Whoa, let's take the new word for this lesson. Gach something. Okay, so yuam is you two, and I is I, aham is I, I is I. Okay, and agat. So then we are coming. Come. How many are coming? You two and I. So that's 2 plus 1 is 3, plural. So it's all plural there. And then which person? Is it you or is it I? Or is it second person or is it first person? It's first person, because first person overrides second person. So this has to be we all come. Agachamaha. Yuam aham cha agachamaha. You two and I, we all come. Okay, so that's basically it for this lesson, and as I said, don't worry about the dual forms in the exercises for this lesson 7, because I'm not putting in any of those in the exercises. So we will hold off to until lesson 8 with actually doing exercises with dual forms. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed this lesson, and I wish you a very pleasant day. Bye bye.